Hello there and welcome back to another Zane is Epic video. Today I will be reviewing the Lego Icons Tranquil Garden. This Tranquil Garden is Lego set number 10315, has 1,363 pieces, and is recommended for ages 18 and up. Bag 1 builds up the base of the little house in the garden and also builds this little table in the house. Bag 2 finishes up the house by building the walls and the roof. Bag 3 makes the base of the actual diorama and makes the path that the river will eventually sit on. Bag 4 adds a couple more things to the base and then makes the river, which was a little bit tedious to do, but ended out looking really good. Bag 5 adds some rock work, as well as making the base that the little house will sit on. Bag 6 is a similar thing to Bag 5, just on the other side of the river. Bag 7 just starts building the frame of the base. Bag 8 finishes up the frame of the base. Bag 9 builds a stone path, the little bridge, as well as adding the little house onto the build. Bag 10 builds the 2 cherry blossom trees, which were a little repetitive with the leaves being almost 20 of the same exact build. Bag 11 builds the rest of the decorations that will be added onto the main diorama. Alright, here is the finished Tranquil Garden, and it honestly looks so good. It definitely lives up to my expectations. There's so many different segments of this build, but first is this little, I want to say temple build. It's positioned here, right on the river, and it's very detailed with everything, and you can actually take off this whole part and reveal the interior where they have some green tea and stuff, you know, they're cooking something up. And this whole table you can also actually remove, which I accidentally just spilled the green tea. They're not actually attached by anything. They're just in the little bowls. But here you can see there's a little whisk right here, a little teapot, a little pot, and it has a clear stud in there, which is also not attached by anything. And then this little piece right here, I'm thinking it might be meant to be a spoon. And then, of course, I'm thinking now that there's a spoon, it might be like soup or something. I was originally thinking it was green tea. And then I'm not exactly sure what this is right here, this little black stud. And then it's very easily put back in here. It's just held on by 2 studs, and it just goes right back on there. The only other details in this little thing are right there. There are some slippers by the entrance, since of course it's very Japanese inspired, and whenever you go into a little house, it's common courtesy to take off your shoes. It's very heavily, like, I don't know the word to call it. It's very rude to not take them off in Japan, which again this is inspired by. And then you can just slide that back onto there. Here's the front of that little temple. Let me get this out of the way so that way it doesn't focus on that little tree. So it uses these Super Mario plates as little steps to get up there. And then it's just this little opening for a door. There isn't actually a door there. And it's built on this angle, which I think works really well. It's not like a really crazy building technique as you might think. It's just using these little stands, which I don't know if you can see it, but they're little stands in the river, and that make it sit on an angle. Next little part that I have to mention is this really nice looking bridge. Some other little details are that there are these rocks leading from this side of it, the very front, all the way along the set, across the river, all the way across here, there's a tree, and then up to this little temple. There are also these little statues here. I'm not exactly sure what they're meant to be. They might be lanterns of sorts, but they're also along the path of rocks. But there is also one in the river, which I find kind of interesting. Last thing before we get to the customizability of this set, this base is a lot like the bonsai tree base, and I think it looks really good. There are also rubber feet all along the bottom. I don't want to move it up too much because stuff will fall out, but there are these tires all along the bottom, so it makes it less hard to move. Like, I'm pushing pretty hard right now and it's barely moving. There are also these small trees throughout the build. There's that one, and there's those, and they're all in like little clumps. Like, there's some right there, but there's one lonesome one right there next to this frog statue, which is very cool. And you may be thinking, Zane, why aren't you talking about these massive trees throughout the set? Well, that's all part of the customizability. I could take this tree out. I could take this tree out. I could take this little statue out. I could take this tree out. Not that one, this one. I could take this tree out. And I can also take this bamboo out. And then you'll see there are all these little holes throughout it. So what that's for is all of these little guys, all these little decorations have these blocks on them. Like this one has one, and all of them have these, which fit into the little holes. So if I wanted to, I could put this little statue outside of the little temple and have that as like a little entrance. I could put this tree right here, and I could put this blossom tree right there. Right there, actually, I like that more. Actually, maybe I won't, because now it's only focusing on that. I'll put that one right there. And then I could put this right here. And I could put this right here. And I could put this right there. And yeah, you can completely mix and match it. There are, I believe, 720 different variations of all this, and you can just really mix and match it depending on how you like it, which I think is a cool little bit of customization. And then this set is also, I believe, minifigure scale, because I'll just use Lego Fortnite Drift since he seems pretty Japanese inspired. And yeah, he can just walk all throughout. He can go across the bridge. And then he can stand in here. And yeah, this is entirely minifigure scale, so it's a really cool display piece. And if you want, you could put minifigures throughout it and make it look, and decorate it more. I would use a Ninjago minifigure to show this, but I don't have any Ninjago sets. It's just not really a theme that I'm too intrigued by. But away from minifigures, this is just such an intricate and, I'm going to tell, says it, very tranquil set. And yeah, it's been a dream set of mine for a while, and I think it lives up to that anticipation. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Lego Tranquil Garden. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we have a couple more sets coming, and I have more content planned for the future, because I want to start uploading again on this channel. So, bye-bye. Also, this is my 100th video, so that's pretty cool.